Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to World of Tanks Blitz. Here in the winter hangar with one of the special tanks that they have brought out, which is the Panzer IV Schmulturm. However, this is no ordinary Schmulturm, however, because this has got a special Star Wars themed camo on it, which is the Panzer IV and then making a TIE fighter little shape with bracket -0 bracket, and the description is dedicated to the space fighter of a similar profile. So yeah, you can tell that this is indeed a TIE fighter. You have got the cockpit here with the cockpit glass which you look out of, cockpit glass around here. You've got the size of the cockpit there, bit of it there. You've got the energy collectors here, which is what powered the TIE fighter mostly. It collected rays on basically giant solar panels on the wings. Well, the solar panels were the wings actually. On all of the TIE craft, the solar panels were effectively the wings. So it's basically got the side skirts are the solar panels as represented there. You've just got the then you have this sort of grey metallic look to it, a sort of futuristic space grey metallic look to the rest of the tank. Plus you've got these two little red sensory things. Well, actually, these two little red sensory things are actually going to be the ion cannons of the TIE fighter, or at least the weaponry of the TIE fighter. But in this case, this is the main weaponry, the big gun, rather than these lasers. But in the whole theme of the TIE fighter, these would be the weaponry. So, yeah, what is it in World of Tanks Blitz? In World of Tanks Blitz, it's a tier 6 medium of similar to the Panzer IV Schmulturm, actually in World of Tanks PC. And once upon a time in PC, legend tells of a time when this tier 5 Panzer IV got this turret and this gun. So you weren't stuck with 110 penetration and 80mm armoured turret. You actually had the 120mm of armour on this turret, plus the slope sides, plus this very good 75mm gun. And just to show you how good this gun is, this was the first ever game that I played in the Panzer IV TIE Fighter edition, or the Panzer IV Schmulturm. It was Mirage. We started losing 2-5. I got 6 kills at KV1, got a single kill. But if we look statistics, 25 shots fired, 23 direct hits, 22 penetrations, 0 splash damage, 6 enemies damaged, 6 enemies destroyed, damage caused 3,054, enemy spotted 1, hits received 12, 6 pens, 6 non-pens. Have a look at the efficiency here. There was a T-34, which I did bounce off of once because it hit the turret at an odd angle, but 481 total damage, 3 penetrations, injured his commander. This little VK light tank, 713 damage, and damaged his ammo. T-34-85 damaged track, 492 total damage. KV-1S, 127 damage, executed him because he was not paying attention to me, damaged his track and his fuel tank. KV-1 destroyed track, injured driver, dealt all the damage to that guy. The Stug destroyed his engine, 471 total damage for 3 penetrations. Got 48,000 credits from it. Made 2,480 without premium credits. Yeah, that was the first ever game that I played, and I got 6 kills. If we just look at the medals, actually, because I didn't show the medals. So, Mastery Badge, Ace Tanker, Top Gun, High Caliber, Pools Medal for destroying 6 enemy tanks, Steel Wall, receive at least 11 hits and a minimum of 1000 HP of total damage, Collar Banos Medal, standalone against 3 enemy tanks, in this case standalone against 5 enemy tanks, because I had the only 2 kills at the point of one of my other allies dying, and then Master Gunner and Sharpshooter. But yeah, 3,054 damage, 6 kills. Oof, that was very nice. So, yeah, this is a very good tank. But enough wattling on. This is what it looks like compared to the Panzer IVs. There's Panzer IV, Panzer IV S, and indeed the Panzer IV Hydro. There we go, Panzer IV Hydro, Panzer IV S, TIE Fighter Edition. So let's have a quick rundown of it. 27% protection, 52% firepower, 63% shot effectiveness, 45% maneuverability. So because of the small term and the gun it gets, it is decidedly less mobile than the Panzer IV, but it's still fairly mobile in my opinion. So 950 HP for a tier 6 medium. Do I have any tier 6 heavies? No, I do not. Let me have a look. So 950, I think it was, is the HP to beat, 1100 for a tier 6 heavy tank. This has got only slightly less than a tier 6 heavy tank, and this is a tier 6 medium. I do not know if I have any other tier 6s to compare it to. Do not think I do. Look. Nope, this is my only tier 6 that I have, so I do not have anything directly to compare it to. But if we have a look, another tier 6 medium, if we look at the Germans, is the VK3001P, which has got 920 HP. I literally have not progressed down any of these other lines at all, because it's Blitz. Blitz I only really collect premium tanks. Tier 6 Cromwell, there we go. With the upgraded Cromwell turret, it gets 960 HP, so in World of Tanks it has got a lot of HP, but in World of Tanks Blitz, well, PC to Blitz, it's got a fairly standard tier 6 medium tank HP pool, which is neither better nor worse than anything else on the market. So, alright, what about the armour? Well, the hull armour stays the same, 80, 30, 20. Yeah, nothing surprising about that. It's a Panzer IV tier 6. There's nothing different about the hull. It's neither thicker nor less thick than the standard Panzer IV, but the turret is where it comes into play. For the turret it gets is the Schmolterm turret, which has got 120 armour at the front, 60 sides, 60 rear, 25 degrees per second turret traverse, 245 meter view range. So it is much better than the Panzer IV's turret, because if we have a look at the Panzer IV's turret, 50 at the front. 50 at the front on either of the turrets. Yeah. This turret is much better, and that is due to A, the raw thickness, and also B, looking at it from the front, if they can penetrate this front, if they miss or it deviates, it will hit this side and ricochet straight off. So those two sides are an auto bounce zone, whereas this frontal armour, I mean, even on things like the Leopard, a gun mantlet like this is an auto bounce, and on the Panzer IV S, I'm sure it is decidedly the same, because you look at this thing, it is basically a cone where the gun goes. So if you don't hit the gun, if you hit here, then it will ricochet off, hit the armor, and probably not have enough penetration to actually deal anything more. So auto bounce off of the gun mantlet. Then you've got the actual raw thickness of it. It's only 60 at the side, but from the front, this 60, I'm fairly certain this is 60 because it counts as the side of the turret, but this 60 becomes an auto bounce because look at that angling. And the turret is slightly sloped. Here, as you can see, it's a slightly sloped inwards turret. But yeah, 60 side, 60 rear, still better than the Panzer IV's turret. It's a very good turret, and it mounts a very good gun, which we will get to later. But as for the maneuverability, it's a 31-ton tank with a 440 horsepower engine, which means it goes at 44 kilometers per hour forwards, with a 34.72 degrees per second traverse speed. That's not a particularly great traverse speed, nor does the turret traverse particularly quick. It is a pretty slow turning turret, and it is a pretty slow traversing tank for a medium, so it's not exactly your barreling around medium tank that other mediums at the tier do. This tank is more about being at the front lines due to the turret and the gun. And talking of the gun, I suppose I can't put it off anymore. This is the gun that it gets, which once upon a time you could get on the tier 5 Panzer IV. But this 75mm gun gets a 13.68 rate of fire rounds per minute, which, including a gun rammer plus vents plus the 100% crew, yeah, 100% crew, means that you get a 4.4 second reload, which is blisteringly quick in World of Tanks Blitz. I mean, you almost get thrown by how quick it is compared to other guns in Blitz, because other things like the Panzer IV reload a fair decent slower than this thing. Plus, this gets 40 more penetration than the Panzer IV with standard AP ammunition. This gets 150 penetration, 194 with APCR, still only 20 with high explosive. But this Kampfwagen Cannon 44/1L70 is a far superior gun to the standard Panzer IV's gun. 0.32 dispersion with a 3.3 second aim time, but that equivalates to pretty quick in World of Tanks Blitz. I mean, you barely see it. This is a very accurate gun with a decent aim time, since they jigged around the aim time for some reason on Blitz. But yeah, very good dispersion, very good aim time, good penetration, solid damage, 160, 75mm gun. Yep, we all know about that. Plus, only weighs 955 kilograms. This gun is very, very good on a tier 6 medium tank. This is a very good tier 6 gun. So, overall, looking at the stats, it may not be as quick or manoeuvrable than the Panzer IV or indeed the Hydro when I went over the Hydro, but this tank definitely excels in other places where this tank and the Hydro definitely cannot, which is actually being on the front lines and dealing with enemies frontally. KV-1 armor is no problem to this gun. I mean, there are many tanks which you would struggle against if you saw them in the Panzer IV or the Panzer IV Hydro, whereas when you see it with the Panzer IV S, they prove little threat to you. For example, perhaps, do I have anything? That's the question. What is there at tier 6 that could prove a problem to a Panzer IV? Well, Jag Panzer IV can be slightly problematic if you get a wrong angle. This VK, that sloped armor, is a problem. Ooh, tier 5, actually, you've got the 5/4. 5/4s can be a problem if you're lucky enough to run into one, or unlucky enough to run into one. They can prove a bit of a problem at tier 5. To this gun, no problem. What else we got? What's America got? Tier 1 heavies, M6s as well. They would prove a problem, not so much to this gun. I mean, KV-1s can prove a problem if you get them at the wrong angle. T-150s as well. This gun, this gun may prove not as much of a problem. Churchill 7s, actually. There you go, nice Churchill 7. They will still prove a problem due to the fact that they still do have 152 frontal armor, but the sides are decidedly weaker. So at range, this gun excels where the Panzer IV's gun just can't, because with the drop-off of penetration over range, means that the Panzer IV will likely not have good enough penetration to get through the side if you're firing at range, whereas this gun on the 4S will. I mean, the 88, I suppose the Commander's Cupola can be problematic, but with this gun, 150 penetration, you can get through that Cupola much easier than our Panzer IV. So, yeah, in short, good gun. Good gun, good turret. That is the main part of the Schmolter. Plus the camo is just nice, and it also changes the names, which is nice. I like that effect that they did in Blitz, where special camos give them different names. But anyway, equipment fit, I've gone with a gun rammer, vents, and additional grousers for slightly better performance, because it's not exactly a barreling medium tank, as I've said. So, grousers, definitely useful. Gun rammer and improve vents, get that aim time and reload time down. Definitely going to want to go with these two. Because I have so many credits, this stuff is inexpensive to me. But enhanced gun lane drive you could go with, because well, it's obviously getting rid of one of my equipment, but so don't worry about the weight. But it may decrease the traverse speed, but I mean that aim time does go down, and I mean reduced aim time is always nice. The CO2 for tanks durability plus the ammo rack durability, I mean, you could go with those if you keep getting set on fire or getting ammo racked, but enhanced suspension, you could go with over additional grouses, but I think that additional grouses is just going to be more beneficial, because I mean, if you really don't want to have your tracks, you know, getting shot off all the time, then sure. But I mean, repair kits are inexpensive. But I mean, if you want to go with that, I suppose you could. Camo net and binos. This tank would do fairly well as a sniper due to that gun. So I mean, that is a viable option, going binos and camo. If not, coated optics if you want to get your view range up. Spall liner, no, not really. Not many things actually use howitzers in Blitz, considering the fact that there is no artillery, so yeah, there's that. And toolboxes is always useful. You do carry 60 rounds of ammunition, which is a fair few amounts of ammunition. I mean, in that game, I certainly had no problems. With ammunition, and I did the main amount of work for my team. But yeah, I mean, you do carry a lot of ammunition. I mean, you can certainly switch around with ammunition choice between AP and APCR if you wanted. So I mean, yeah, there's that. As for consumables, you've got standard fuel or improved fuel for +3 or 10% to engine power and turret reverser respectively. Activated automatically, permanent throughout the battle. Then you've got chocolate bar and chocolate for +3 or +10% respectively to crew mastery. Permanent throughout the battle, also activated automatically. Then you have protective kit, 15% to protection of crew from injuries, 10% to speed and module repair, 20% fire protection, 10% ammo rack and fuel tank durability. Activated automatically, permanent throughout a battle. I tend to not use provisions just because I just don't want to use them, but I mean, if you want to, they're there, go ahead and do that. As for consumables, anyone that's seen any of my other Blitz reviews will know what's happening next. But if not, then you can always stick around. So I've gone with the standard repair kit, first aid kit, and fire extinguisher. Blitz also introduces engine power boost, 20% to engine power for 15 seconds. Cooldown of 75 seconds, multiple uses per battle. These are all cooldown of 90, so you can use them multiple times. And then you've got adrenaline, 20% at low speed, 10% chance of damaging enemy vehicle modules, 15-second duration, 75-second cooldown, multiple use per battle. Then you've got this thing, which is basically these three rolled into one. And that is designed for if you decide to use one of these and one of these, then you can always just go with that and bung that in your spare cost. In your spare slot. Now, the reason that I do not go with these two and this is, and as to why I go with these three, is because say you had this and this installed and one of these, you have your track blown off and you have to repair it. What do you do? Well, this is your only thing that's spare to actually repairs your track, so you use it on your track. Your track gets up, you drive off. 10 seconds later, you get shot in the engine and you start burning. What do? You can't use this because you've already used it, so you can't extinguish the fire. And because this is now on a cooldown, you can't use it. You're going to keep burning and burning and burning because you only have one of these and one of these and one of these. So that's why I go with the three individual ones, because you can repair your track with that. Then if you get set on fire, instant extinguishment using the fire extinguisher. But I mean, each to their own. If you want to go with one of them, and one of them, sure thing, because I understand if you use these two, you only have a space for that, then go ahead and do that. But I just prefer having the three standard consumables as I'm used to. And in short, that is the Schmalter. I mean, there's the legendary camo, but I mean, you've always got Inferno, which is, it's alright. I don't think it quite suits this tank, but you got that. You've got the special camos, Verdun Forest, you got that, this thing, pretty cool, Lightning, Thunderbolt, Digital Forest, undeniable advantage. But yeah, the pack that I got actually came with the Space Fighter camo, so yeah. But anyway, As for the crew, I can't really say anything. Blitz crews act differently. Every medium tank will train the same skill. Doesn't matter, you can't train individual crew members, you have to train the actual crew, the crew themselves, and if it's a medium tank, all medium tanks will share their skills, so I'm training Smooth Ride. But yeah, I can't really say anything about your crew skills because Blitz crew skills work differently. There is no way of saying what's good and what isn't for a tank, because you would have to keep chopping and changing between every single tank that you're playing, and you would just never train anything. So, but yeah, so that is the small term. Overall, I really do like it, as you can tell by this game. I mean, this game was just a beast. If only they had a replay function. I swear I saw a replay function in this game at one point, where you could save replays, but apparently not. Yeah, if only you could save replays. I'm sure there is a way of saving replays, I just have no idea how. But yeah, about that game. So overall, yes, I really do like this tank. This is a very good tier 6 medium tank. If you need to get medium tank missions done, you know, in your mission things, then this is definitely this is definitely a good choice to do it in, because it has got a very good gun and a very good turret. The turret will bounce things, plus the gun will allow you to kill things very quickly with the reload. So yeah, just to compare it to this gun's got an 8.84 rate of fire rounds per minute. I mean, even the Chinukai, damn it, that was close. Even the Chinukai has got an 8.89 rate of fire. This thing's got 13, so it's a very rapid fire gun in World of Tanks Blitz. It's very good. So if you can get your hands on this thing, definitely do. If you get it with the legendary camo, even better. But yeah, so that's the Panzer IV S. I'll thank you for watching, and goodbye.